Hi, I'm Alejandro Estevez-Breton, the Chief Fixed Income Strategist at Itaú Private Bank International. I would like to share some thoughts from an event I recently attended, the Wealth Management Convergence Conference. I want to share 3 points today. First, that the traditional 60% equities, 40% bond portfolio may not be enough. The second is the impact of the US election. And the third is Alzheimer's disease and its impact on the wealth management industry. To start off, on the traditional 60-40 portfolio, there were some conversations about how the convergence of diverse technologies will prolong human life expectancy to 100 years. This means that annuities have actuarial calculations assuming only life expectancy of 80 years. Pension funds have unrealistic worker-retiree ratios and investment return assumptions. In fact, portfolios will need to run much more risk given this longer human lifespan. In fact, some of the attendees mentioned that some of their clients were already running 80% equities, 20% bond portfolios. Now, second, the impact of the US election. We'll talk about the economy, stocks, bonds, and crypto. First, on the economy. Some Trump policies are likely to benefit or support growth via tax cuts on deregulation. However, others, like tariffs and tight immigration, may fuel inflation. The perception was that winning industries could be AI, crypto, healthcare, banks, and energy. Some of the losing industries could be construction and agriculture. In terms of stocks, the perception was that the second term looks more organized versus the first term, likely more supportive of small businesses. Small caps and mid caps are likely to outperform, and the perception was that private equity, private credit, and even crypto are likely to open up more to retail investors. Finally, the impact on bonds. The reversion to historical, more normal levels in US Treasuries and bonds suggests that the value proposition of bonds is mostly driven by higher Treasury yields. They mentioned that the Treasury Secretary wants to reduce a 10-year yield in the Treasury market, but the risks are potentially to move higher. The comments were also highlighting that if there were to be a fiscal crisis, that would probably start being reflected in a failed Treasury auction in the US. And finally, in terms of credit, the high yield market was mentioned to be a much better quality asset class than in the past, which limits the downside. Also, there were some comments about crypto. One of the most important comments were related to regulation, that the environment is much better as the regulation is no longer by enforcement. There were expectations that the regulation will be approved soon, supporting stablecoins, enabling innovation, and even creating the incentive to repatriate business innovation to the US. Crypto was perceived to be a pivotal part of financial infrastructure, and there was much more client interest in digital assets. The average allocation among investment advisors was less than 3%, but is expected to gradually move to 5%. Finally, the last point is on Alzheimer's disease and its impact on wealth management. Alzheimer's disease is an older age disease that is more common due to higher life expectancy. In fact, there's a 10% risk for people age 65, there's a 25% risk for people age 75, and 40% for people age 80 years or older. Alzheimer's is 100% fatal, and it's a slow progressive illness. It's very expensive for economies and clients. Financial crime and/or family manipulations is a threat to clients with Alzheimer's. Some of the recommendations from legal experts were to try to arrange legal paperwork like power of attorney, revocable trust, or advanced medical directives ahead of any Alzheimer's deterioration. Even some of the suggestions were to establish code words with clients to prevent deepfakes or scams. For now, there's 2 treatments available that slow the decline for about 1 year. There's some software that detects language deterioration for the onset of Alzheimer's. New drugs may come out in 5 years. And GLP-1 drugs have shown some anti-aging properties which could help with Alzheimer's disease. Thanks for joining me today. Until next time.